Hello everyone, welcome to Beginner's Guide. In today's tutorial, I'm going to teach you how you can create this auto typing text on your website. This particular design is not only has the auto typing feature, I have other cool features as well. Let me show you what else I have for you. Especially when I hover on these menu items, I hope you can see there is a nice border bottom coming on these menu items. Again, when I hover on this image, I hope you can able to see the image is moving, right? So I have added some animation on this particular image so that when you hover on this image, there will be some nice movement. Again, I have two buttons. The active button has a background and this other one has no background. Let me show you how you can create this one. Before we start, it's just a reminder, if you have not subscribed the channel yet, please do subscribe. In case if you like this video, please do not forget to hit the like button. Now let's get started. I have a folder here. In this folder I have three things. One is a folder name called images. Inside this images folder I have the images that I'm going to use for this particular website design, followed by I have an HTML file as well as CSS file. Let me open this folder with my text editor. So here is a basic boilerplate for the HTML. Here is the basic boilerplate for my CSS. This CSS is nothing much. Actually, I have included the Google fonts. I hope you can able to see. As well as I have used the universal selector just to remove some basic margin and padding. As well as since I have included the Google fonts, I'm going to use that fonts throughout my design. And then I have set the box sizing to the border box. Now let's work on the HTML part. Here I'm going to create a div with a class name called container. Within this container class, I'm going to create another class name called header. So this header class is going to have the nav tag because we need to put the nav bar on top of the design. So for that, I'm going to create the nav tag. So nav tag has got two things. I hope you have already noticed. There is a logo here. This side there is a menu items. For this particular logo, I'm going to use the image source property. So the source is there in the images folder. Within that images folder, the name of the logo is this logo.png. As an alternate message, let me just say no, right? So this is about the image. Now we need to work on the menu item. For that, I'm going to use the unordered list. Within this unordered list, I'm going to create the list item. This one is going to have an anchor tag. Let me call this one as a home. Let me just copy and paste. So now I had included all the menu items. Let us open this one with a browser so that we will see how does this one would look like. There is nothing much. The logo is there. There is nothing else that we can see at this particular moment. Let us just work on the style sheet part. I'm going to select the class name called container. So I wanted to set some width and height as well as the background color. Width will be 100%, height will be 100 VH, and then background, I wanted to have them as a black color. Let me save this one. After that, I'm going to select the class name called header. Within this header class, I'm just going to set the padding. So padding top and bottom will be 10 pixel, left and right, let's say 8%. Then I'm going to target the nav tag. For this nav tag, I wanted to set the display property. It's going to be flex because I want those menu items to be displayed in a horizontal line. Align items would be center. Justify content will be space between. Now I'm going to target this UL and LI property. So down there I'm going to show nav UL. I'm going to the LI. For this I wanted to set the display property again. So the display, it will be inline block, and then I wanted to set the list style as none so that it will remove the bullet points. Then from there, margin top and bottom will be 10 pixel, left and right will be 20 pixel. Let me save and go there so that we will see how does this one would look like. Show that now you can able to see the items here. So the next thing is I wanted to reduce the size of this logo so that this particular logo can fit into the left side of this particular design. So for that, what I can do, I'm going to this image. Let me create a class. Let me call this one as a logo. Now let me target the logo class so that I can reduce the size of that particular logo that I have. So let me set some width. Let's say 240 pixel. Let me save. Now it's perfect, right? So what is next? I need to change the color of this text. I need to remove these underlines. For that, I'm going to target this part I need to go to the next level. The next level is an anchor tag. Now let me set the color. Let's say the color I want them to be white, and then text decoration will be none, so that the underlines will be removed. Let me set some font size and the font weight. Font size would be 14 pixel. Font weight will be 600. I think that's it. Let me save and run. Let's see how does this one would look like. I think it looks perfect, right? What is the next thing? When I hover on these menu items, I want to bring that underline, right? So for that, I'm going to use the pseudo class name called after. So let me copy this part for now, and then I'm going to paste them here. I'm going to use the after. So initially the content will be empty, and then I wanted to set the width. The width will be 100%. Let me set some height. Let's say 3 pixel. And then I wanted to set the background, because when I hover on that one, there is a background. So the background color that we have seen them there is an orange color. So let me just say orange. You can even use the hexadecimal value. And then I wanted to set the position to absolute. When I set the position to absolute, this is a parent element. So the position of this parent element has to be relative. Otherwise it will not work. So after the position, what I can do from the left is going to be 0%. And then let me set the bottom. The bottom will be -6 pixel. I think everything is okay. Let me save and go and refresh. Now I'm sure that you can able to see the underline in the menu items, but we don't want to see these underlines. We wanted to see these underlines only when I hover on these menu items. Isn't it so? For that, it's simple. Just copy this part again and paste them down there. You want those underlines to come only when you hover on them, isn't it so? So before this after, put colon hover, and then here set the width to 100%. So when you set the width to 100% here, you need to set the width here to 0%, so that that underline would come only when you hover on the menu item. Now let me go there and refresh. Now you no longer see the underline, but when I hover on them, you will see the underline. But the transition is not so smooth. For that, what we can do, here we can add the transition. Let's say is 1 second. When you save, go to your design, refresh. When you hover, I think it doesn't look smooth. What's the problem? Okay, there is a space here. When you save this one, go there and refresh. I'm sure that now you can able to see the smooth transition. So what is next in our actual design? After this menu item, we need to work on this part, right? So let us bring the content first, then we will work on the auto typing. So for that, what we can do, let me open here. After the nav tag and this div, let me create another div with a class name called, I can say, content area. So within this content area, let me add the h1. So in the h1, I'm going to type the message. Followed by, we have the paragraph there. I hope you have seen, right? So for the paragraph, I'm going to say p tag. Just for the sake of time, let me copy this thing and paste them here in the code. I hope you have noticed in our actual design, this particular line, web development, is starting from the second line. So for that, what we can do, this web development, before this web development, introduce the break tag so that the content would come to the next line. After that, we have two buttons. You can create two buttons, or you can use an anchor tag. For this example, let me use an anchor tag to create those two buttons. So the first one is hire me. The second one is download CV. Let me save this. Let me go there and refresh. Unfortunately, we are unable to see the heading and the paragraph because of the text color. So we need to change the color of the text. So for that, what we can do, we can target that class name called content area. I just wanted to set the margin left and margin top property. I will show you why. Margin left, let's say 8%. Margin top, let's say is 10%. The reason why I said margin left is 8% and margin top is 10%, I want to move this content, I think somewhere here, so that it will come down. Even from the left side, it has to move towards the right side. So when I refresh this one, I'm sure that now you can see from top is 10%, from left side this space is 8%, right? So the next thing is, let me select the H1 tag now. From the content area, I'm going to select the H1. So this is H1. Let me set the color now. Let it be white. Let me set the font size. So the font size would be 50 pixel. And then let me set the margin bottom. Margin bottom, let's say 20 pixel. Same applies to the paragraph. So I'm just going to say content area, and then I'm going to select the paragraph. For the paragraph also, I need to change the color. So the color would be white, and then the line height, let's say 22 pixel. And then I need to focus. I hope, let me save and refresh just to show you what I've done so far. So this is a heading, this is a paragraph. Now I need to work on these two anchor tags, right? So for that, I'm going to the anchor tag again. From content area, I'm going to choose the anchor tag. Let me set the background with this following color code. I wanted to remove the text decoration because there is an underline actually there. I wanted to remove it. Then I wanted to set the font weight. Let me set it to 600. And then I wanted to have the color as black. So it will be 000. Why? Because the background is white. So it would be better to have the font color as black. Then let me just set the display property. It will be inline block, and then margin, I would say top and bottom would be 30 pixel, left and right, let's say 8 pixel. Let me save and refresh. I'm sure that now you can able to see. So what I can do now, I will set some padding as well as the border radius so that the button, it would look like a button. So I'm going to set the padding. Padding will be 10 pixel, 30 pixel, as well as, let me set the border radius. Let me have 5 pixel. And then I wanted to set the border, let's say 2 pixel solid. I wanted to use this color code. I think that's it. Let me save and refresh so that you will see how does this one would look like. I think it looks perfect. Now the next thing is, initially if you notice one thing, this one is in orange color background. So for that, what I'm going to do, let me target this one. Let me give the class name. Let me call the class name as maybe active. So let me go there to the content area, and then I'm going to select the active, and then let me set the background color. So background would be orange. So let me save. Let me go there and refresh. I'm sure that now you can able to see this one has an orange color. So what is next? The next one is, I have to include this image into our website with some animations. So for that, I'm going to my HTML, and then down here I'm going to create a div with a class name. Let me call this one as an image. So within this container, I'm going to include the image. So the image would be, I think it's there in the images folder, and then the name of the image is guy. Then alternate message, I would say no. And then let me create a class for this one. The class would be, let's say, guy. Let me save. So I'm coming to this CSS part. I'm going to target that image class. So for that image class, I need to set some style. So let me set the position to absolute. Then from there, let me set the bottom. Bottom would be 0. And then right 80 pixel. And then width of the image would be 45%. Height, let me set it to 80%. So this is for the image container. Now from this image class, I'm going to img. So this img, let me set the height to 100%. The position will be absolute, and then let's say from left it will be 50%. From bottom, let's say it will be 2%, so that it will not stick to the bottom. At least it will be somehow above the bottom. The size will be 2%. Then I wanted to use the transform property. It would translate towards the x-axis, and then I would say negative 50%. I think I will set the transition property. The transition would be, let's say, bottom 1 second, comma, I would say from left 1 second. So let me go there and refresh to see. Okay, here is my image, but I'm sure that you can able to see there is a horizontal line and the vertical line. To avoid that, go to the image class, set the overflow to hidden so that the X and Y axis will be hidden. So go there and refresh. I'm sure that now you can able to see the horizontal line and the vertical line is being hidden. Now when I hover on this one, there must be some smooth animation. So for that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to target this class name called guy. So down there, I'm going to the image class. I'm going to say hover on the class guy. What is going to happen from left side, let's say 45%. Let me save this one, go there and refresh. So now when I hover, you see towards the left side is moving. I'm sure that now you can able to see the changes, right? Now the one thing that we are remaining with is this. I don't want it to have a static text here because I want this text to be changing dynamically. So for that, we are going to make use of the JavaScript. In order to use the JavaScript, go to your Google, type JS, hit enter, go to the first link, there is a GitHub link there, click that one. This gentleman named called Matt Porter is the one who created the GitHub repository for this typed JS. Go all the way down there, copy this CDN, so click here, it will be copied. Come to your VS Code, paste this one in the head section, maybe after the title, paste this one. The next step is go back, go to the next link, this particular link here, go all the way down there and then copy this code. So open your HTML document. Now you need to create the script tag because this one is a JavaScript. So here I'm going to create the script tag. So now I'm going to paste the code. Now let me explain you what does this mean. This typed is an object that comes from the typed JS. So here I'm sure that now you can see it has two parameters. One is an element. What is this element? I'm sure that now you can able to see the dot in front. If you see a dot in front, what does that mean? Yes, you have guessed it right. It's a class name. So what I'm going to do, I'm going up there. Yes, I want this I am as a static text, but this one needs to be the dynamic text, isn't it so? So for that, I'm going to remove this part because I wanted to change that text dynamically. So I'm going to create the span tag, and then this span tag is going to have the class name. The class name has to be the same name as this. So this one is a dot element. So this class name, you have to pass them here for this span tag. So let's say element. I hope it's clear. So the name has to be same, right? Then from there, it is going to take a different string. The first string is, let's say, the name of the person. The name of the person here is Ritvik. And then the second sentence, it can be anything. So let's say web developer. Let's say the third one is a graphic designer. So you need to separate them with a comma. So put the comma. So here replace it with graphic designer. You can add many strings as you wish, right? After this, what is this type speed? I'm sure that when you go to the design here, I'm sure that you can see the typing speed of this each text. So that is exactly what type speed means. So when you say 30, it will be too fast. So let's say it will be 100. So I'm sure that in this particular design, you have seen the typing is happening both the forward direction as well as the backward direction, right? So this type speed will specify the forward direction typing. So if you wanted to have the backwards typing, you need to use back speed as a method and then specify the value. So this one would determine typing backwards. This type speed would determine typing the text in forward direction. After that, let me just save, go to my design here. Now I'm going to refresh my website. I'm sure that now you can able to see Rithwik, web developer. Third one is a graphic designer. And then it has stopped there. But I wanted to repeat that particular auto typing. If you wanted to repeat, all you need to do is, let's say loop, and then set it to true, so that it will be in a loop, and then this particular text will be just keep on going in a loop. And there is a typo error there, so let me go there and change graphic designer. Again, I'm sure that you have noticed in the actual design, this one has a different color, but in our design, everything is in white color, right? As you can see them there. For that particular auto typing content, the color is also same as the actual color. In case if you wanted to change the color of that particular portion, I hope you have already guessed. All you need to do is, let me go there. So these ones are part of this span tag, isn't it? So get that span tag and then set the background color. Let me say it will be orange. Let me save, go there and refresh. There is a background here. You need to remove the background. The reason is here I have set background instead of color, so it has to be color. Let me save, go there and refresh. Now I'm sure that you can able to see we have managed to create this auto typing content with some nice animations on this particular web page. I hope this tutorial was useful to you. If you like this video, do not forget to hit the like button and share this video with your friends in case if you think that they can benefit from this video. Thank you so much. See you in the next tutorial.